Mes salutations chaleureuses à notre co-chair, Révérend Bakary Camara, et à notre président régional, Révérend Jean-Pierre Kalima, et à notre vice-présidente, Madame Mrs. Mika Amalamo.
Vice-President Mrs. Mika Amalamo. And also my greetings to all the sub-regional directors, all the national leaders, all the BFGs, and also to our merchant advisors. Once more, I am happy to have you here at this second week of education of merchant supporters. I'm sure at 100% that our Iranian parents and true parents are happy to see us here and are ready to find solutions so that our children, our brothers and sisters, be matched and blessed. Without starting already, I can see that many cameras are closed. So if you're ready, if you're well installed, please open your cameras so that we should be connected together and be ready to offer this offering to heavenly parents and true parents of heaven and earth and mankind. So now I'm going to share the program with you, and this is how we are going to move. I'm going to offer about heavenly parents and true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, and then we'll recite the family pledge number 5 and number 6, and then we're going to invite Reverend Joseph Ambiana, National Leader of Gabon, to offer the opening prayer. And after that, we'll have the Hunake reading, which will be done by Mrs. Wutewa, who is the DFC Director of Zambia. And then we are going to invite our regional president, who will offer the opening remarks. And not forgetting our 21 co-chair, who also greet all the community. And then we're going to move on to the session 3. We already did session 1 and 2 last week. We're going to do session 3 today, and it will be given by our regional vice president under the title The Internal Attitude as a Merchant Advisor. And then we're going to have a panel discussion that will be coordinated by our regional vice president and our regional president. I will call once more our regional president for the closing remarks, and then we will offer all together the closing prayer and last bout to heavenly parents and true parents, and then we're going to take a family pictures all together. Now that you all know what you are waiting for, I'll ask the technical team to share true parents pictures, and we're going to offer about heavenly parents and true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. 전진 저번임게 겸배 바로. Now we're going to offer family page. Family page number 5. Our family, the love training group, is Jessica Original Homeland. And strive every day to enhance education in the spiritual and the physical world as social and object partners by central and true love. Number 6. Our family, the love training group, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying heavenly parents and true parents, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and heaven. Thank you very much. So now I'd like to invite Reverend Ambiana Joseph, the national leader of Gabon, to offer the opening prayer. Reverend Ambiana, if you're here, you can open your mic.
Bonjour, très cher leader, cher président régional. Bonjour,
Good morning, dear leaders, dear regional president,
régional et
regional vice president,
nationaux et la machine supporter ici dans cette plateforme.
and to all the national leaders
Joignez-vous à moi, s'il vous plaît,
and machine
pour la
supporters,
prière. J'espère que
and join me for the prayer. I hope you can get me well.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Prions. Éternel Dieu, notre parent céleste,
Let's pray.
bien-aimé,
Our Heavenly
du
Parents,
ciel, la terre et l'humanité,
true parents of heaven and earth and humankind,
gratitude que nous sommes rassemblés en ce
it
matin
is with gratitude that we are gathered this morning
ce programme qui constitue un des points focaux parents célestes
to start this program, which is part
de
of
trois générations.
our focal points. The program centered on three generations.
Reconnaissant
We are
que nous avons
grateful
la vie
because you gave us life,
et
breath
aujourd'hui,
of life,
cette vie est une opportunité nouvelle de
and this life is a new opportunity today to do something good for you,
cœur,
to go closer to you,
de nos parents
and to
d'hier.
correct the errors of yesterday,
Particulièrement à ce jour,
particularly
où nous
today,
sommes autour, parents célestes, de notre axe vertical.
where we are
Parents célestes,
around our
les enfants
vertical
et les parents
acts
célestes descendant jusqu'à parents célestes
made up of our true parents,
régional
moving
de trois générations.
onto our original staff made of three generations.
Infiniment reconnaissant
We are grateful
participer à ce moment de notre parent
for being
où parents célestes, tes
in this
inspirations
moment
descendent directement parents célestes de toi
where your
à
inspiration
travers parents célestes nos
comes directly from you to us
parents célestes
through our true
générations
parents
de
and through these three generations you gather,
parents célestes de Chonwi One, de parents célestes notre
made up of
président
21
régional.
regional presidents and regional vice presidents.
À ce moment de notre parent, parce que nous comprenons que
We are gathered in heart at this moment because we understand that
grâce aux vrais parents,
since the beginning you've been looking for your children, and
constitués en
with
une communauté
our heavenly parents we
la
are
responsabilité la plus
gathered as one family, the heavenly parents for the community who are called to accomplish mission, very important mission that is accomplished in Charlie Cook substantially throughout your mother, who is our role model. She is the
qui pensait chaque
uh,
jour
Heavenly Holy Spirit. She is the only begotten daughter of God, and she invests herself every day to accomplish your will. We want to pray, thinking particularly of her who loves us so much, the love that is above even her physical um, capacity. She's even putting her life, Heavenly Parents, online to accomplish your will. This will, which is actually to accompany these children who are the results of the shed blood and the
la seconde génération
tears of our true parents, the second generation.
doit hériter absolument de cette bénédiction que tu
They have to absolutely inherit this blessing that
toute l'humanité à travers
you shared all humanity through true parents.
que appeler
And
notre parent céleste.
we are
Une responsabilité,
now called Heavenly Parents to
une
accomplish
responsabilité qui revient
our responsibility,
nos enfants
a very humble responsibility, which is to accompany
de
our
faire
children and
un bon choix,
permit
une bonne décision.
parents to do a good choice, a good matching. Heavenly Parents, we pray that
qui nous sont
through
que par
all
notre esprit, notre corps notre âme odontoparent puisse être disposée et être en mesure de
All
saisir
what you
l'essence même du message
give to us, we should be able to be ready, Heavenly Parent, to understand the essence of the message you would like to share with us today so we can become good machine supporters, good parents, capable of finding according to the directives of our true mother, directives of our true parents, and matching for our children. Please guide us during this moment and permit each soul to be trained through this special training that have started. I really want to pray that we should be having parents conscious. We should be conscious, aware of the presence of our true mother, aware of the presence of our true parents, and we should be able to connect ourselves to their heart and through the heart of all those who will be speaking to us today. So I really want to pray that as we are going out of this meeting today, we should be more inspired, Heavenly Parent, and more united in heart to accomplish our responsibility. I pray that your grace, the grace of your love, the light of your glory, light in all this moment, light in our minds, so we can be united in heart to you and to our true parents. Heavenly Parents, we pray that you should be blessed and glorified. I really want to pray that your parents should be glorified and blessed. That's our greatest joy and our greatest desire. Please accept this prayer, this moment. As offer this in my name, Ambiana Joseph, member of a Blessed family. Ajo. Ajo. Thank you. Thank you to Reverend Ambiana Joseph for bringing this prayer.
Nous allons continuer dans notre programme et il sera très normal pour nous de créer l'atmosphère équilibrée selon laquelle la parole de nos vrais parents joue un très grand rôle. Donc, c'est le moment du Hundoken. Je vais de ce pas inviter Révérend Mutewa, qui est le directeur BFD de Zambie, pour faire usage de lecture.
So we're going to move to Hundoke now, and I'm going to invite Reverend Mutewa for the reading. Reverend Mutewa, if you're ready, please open your mic for the Hundoke reading.
Thank you. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please proceed.
Thank you. Our Hundoke reading is coming from our true father's speech, the way of a person of character. Next. A man of character is little different from ordinary people in terms of external appearance, but he is, sorry, let me minimize, but he is very different from them in his thought and spirit. Therefore, what determines a man of character is not the external aspect, but the internal one. We should discuss character and personality based on the spiritual side of man. In order to expand the spiritual area, we have to understand the world of the mind. When we call someone a man of character, we are not referring to his appearance, education, career, or position. We call him a man of character based on his living in a principled way. External flamboyance does not make a man of character. A man of character is the one who lives according to God's will with an unchanging heart. B, the lifestyle of a person of character. People change their mind day and night because they do not have an absolute center. We cannot call them men of character. A man of character is the one who tries to keep his promise all his life and has a high level of righteousness. You should make no excuses after things are decided. You should say that what you have promised never changes, even if the law of the universe changes. A man of character keeps his promises. If I say that you focused the promise I made upon me, and therefore I don't have to keep it, then I am not a man of character. Law is a set of promises made on a public standard. If someone cannot keep it, then he should be punished by public regulation. This is the responsibility of the keepers of the law. No matter who initiated it, a promise must be kept. You will be a loser if you do not keep your promise. God's love is the original source of the universe, and it embraces the world. If such love had reached each and every person, would there not be a realm where there is love everywhere, whether we go up or fall down? Everything that is related to God's spread fragrance. Shouldn't it be like that? When you see things with a shimjang, in bracket heart, understanding that everything God created is a branch of God, then everything becomes your friend. Aju.
Adieu.
Joe.
Merci encore une fois à notre
Thank you
président
very much
Zambie
to our BFD
pour la lecture de
BFD Director Irene Mutewa for the Hondoke reading this morning, and I would like to invite everyone to offer a round of applause to each parent's work.
Merci, très bien. Nos vrais parents se sont réellement évertués toute leur vie afin de nous faire prendre conscience de notre identité, de ce à quoi nous sommes appelés à accomplir.
True parents reading
Pas plus de commentaires sur le Hondoke
did
la prochaine personne
everything by giving us our mission and responsibility. So I would not like to speak much, and the next person that will intervene here is our regional president. I'm sure he's here with his parental heart to share all his love and to make us understand what we have to accomplish as matching supporters. So let's all invite our regional president with a round of applause, please.
Merci beaucoup, notre MC, qui sont en TP.
Thank you very much. So the MC
Est-ce qu'il y a la traduction?
is interpretation going on.
You have translation?
Oui, il y a la traduction, ne vous en faites pas, cher président.
Ok, merci.
Yes, it's interpretation. Don't worry, dear President.
Je voudrais saluer ce matin notre
So I would like to greet this morning our 21 co-chair, Ruben Bakari, and all the matching supporters,
tous les membres de la Sainte Communauté, tous les responsables ici présents.
and all responsible prisonnier all observe to protocol. We are just from reading an important session of Kondoke that is talking about our character, and what touched me the most
Garder la promesse. Et quand nous promettons,
was to keep
respecter.
our promises. And when we make a promise, we have to keep it. I remember when I was undergoing my language classes in Korea, the first text we read was speaking about respect of
C'était deux amis qui devaient se rencontrer à Séoul. Ils se sont entendus l'heure,
respect of
la ligne de métro,
the
la station
pledge.
de métro.
So the Honoka was talking about two friends who met themselves at the metro, and the person that had to leave Chonam to reach Seoul reached, and then started waiting for Soha,
Et la description
his friend, and Soha never came. The description was so lively that
l'attitude de
the
l'autre
important aspect was the attitude of the other not respecting her pledge. That's the first
la personne
phrase I remembered.
qui respecte pas
Um,
la promesse faite,
the person that doesn't
n'est pas
respect
une personne à
the
considérer.
pledge made is not a person to be considered.
Et on a décrit qu'elle doit être un homme de caractère, une bonne personne. C'est d'ici aujourd'hui, nous avons accepté de prendre cette lourde responsabilité
So today we accepted to
d'essayer
take this great
à dégager
responsibility of being matching
réaliser.
uh,
Nous sommes de bonnes personnes
advisors,
devant le Parent céleste.
that is being
Et
good
la promesse que
person in
nous
front of
avons
our heavenly parents,
de pouvoir le
and
servir,
the pledge that we made
nous
of serving our true parents, we have to keep
nous nous
that,
comportons
and we have to
oui, nous sommes
um,
des personnes. Nous sommes des
do
personnes
as such. We are good people. We are people that have to sacrifice themselves. We are people of heart. We are people who are or who will be able to keep the secret
d'offrir des
and
dévotions
to offer
et de travailler pour
devotions
la bonne cause.
and to work for
Personne
the good
en par
cause.
d'autres personnes
Person,
faire
people through
confiance
which
vont venir à toi
others
pour nous offrir ce qui est de plus
will
précieux,
believe,
qu'ils gardent dans leur cœur, ce qui est de plus précieux, qu'ils veulent réaliser dans leur avenir. Et surtout les difficultés qu'ils traversent parce qu'ils savent qu'à travers nous,
and people whom will really be able who will want to come to us because they know that through us they can have solutions to their issues. So if we understand the characteristics of a man of character, then will be those whom and present parents are waiting from us. So
personnes en qui le parent céleste va avoir
we have to be those people
confiance, que ceux
on whom our true parents can believe and rely. But if we don't understand how a person of character is, we will instead be those who will make things hard and more difficult for heavenly parents. I think that the reason why we're all gathered this morning is because we are those on whom our true parents believe, and those whom he gave the responsibility to guide his children, our brothers and sisters, and most importantly, our children. They are those who are more important than anyone else in front of us. So once more, welcome to this meeting, and may the love of our heavenly parents orient and guide us for this day. I offer this and thank you.
Merci. Merci infiniment à notre
Thank you.
président régional.
We thank you to our regional president. There is a round of applause for his comment.
Je suis
Thank
toujours
you.
aussi confiant quand notre président régional doit intervenir.
I'm always this confident when our regional president has to intervene because I always understand, I always learn to understand his heart, and I'm sure it's the same with all members of the community and others who are connected this morning. Nothing is more important to feel the love of our heavenly parents and true parents through our regional president. Thank you once more, regional president, for these comments, who really pointed out the fact that we are people of character. We are men of character. That is why we are gathered here this morning through this structure of three generations in order to learn and practice more of our responsibility. So once more, dear matching supporters, a round of applause to our regional president. Thank you very much. Now, we are not just going to move to the subject matter, which is the program of today, without listening to our Channel 1 co-chair, who is the grandfather of our continent, Africa. So once more, with a round of applause, let's invite on this platform our Channel 1 co-chair, Bakari Kamara, who would like to greet the community present here. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
It's a privilege to be here, to be invited on this special platform. I'm grateful to President Kadima and all his staff for such a wisdom to come together and to address this very particular issue, very important issue, which is to bring our children, our brothers and sisters, to receive true parents' grace, and which is the ultimate goal for each and every one of us. So this is an amazing grace. So, yeah, as you mentioned, this is just to greet you and to also at the same time to support you with all my heart for this a mission you got, very important mission, so you can be successful. I think the regional president already explained the necessity of to be somebody who keeps his or her promise, which is from true parents' word, is amazing. And that's why we can develop a foundation of trust in our relationship. And you got this great responsibility to help and support the matching candidate, the parent, and actually everybody, because anyone involved in the matching and blessing is already a supporter for the community, to build the community. So your own understanding, a spiritual foundation is so precious. I would advise, if possible, to really develop strong foundation of spiritual condition, because you are supporting, so your support should be heavenly, not horizontally necessarily, but really heavenly, and be sincere. That will draw the heavenly fortune to come to you, to say the proper word with the proper attitude, and eventually at the proper time, because all these things are so crucial to bring somebody to such an important, to make such an important decision, participating in the matching, respecting the rules and regulations, and also keeping the promise when he got to the matching, and at the same time also to understand clearly the matching and blessing is to honor heavenly parent, true parent. So those understanding, you will be guiding people, supporting people to reach a concrete, very solid, positive conclusion. So we need together to have a very strong spiritual conditions, not only together, but individually also in your own area. So I'm sure you are doing that. I'm sure. And please continue and be also confident the heaven is supporting you. True parents are with you. Thank you for giving me this floor. I'm truly grateful to come to be here with you and support you. God bless you. Have a good meeting.
Merci à notre Chairwoman Co-Chair. C'est aussi
Thank you to our 21 co-chair. It's also an honor and a privilege for us to have you amongst us this morning.
Merci encore une fois à notre grand-papa.
So once more, thank you to our grandfather for these words full of insights. So we're going to continue with our program. And now here, matching supporters, we are at the most important moment. We are going to receive our education directly from our regional vice president. So while we are preparing ourselves internally, it's with great pleasure we are going to welcome together our regional vice president to guide us through this third session of the day named Internal Attitude of a Matching Supporter. If you're all ready, please, a round of applause to welcome our regional vice president.
Thank you, and greetings and good morning to our 21 co-chair, Papa Kamar. Good morning, regional president, Papa Kadima. Good morning to all of our dear leaders present, BFD matching supporters, and all of our brothers and sisters. I'm really grateful to be here on this platform to be able to also share with you today. I feel already what has been shared by our grandpa and Papa have really already touched a lot of the main points, internal attitude of a matching supporter. And so I feel really we are truly blessed that we can have this time together to understand more deeply of our true parents' words and how we and what position we are in to represent actually our true parents and represent heavenly parents in guiding and supporting the matching process of the second generation. And so I really think this is a very great task, mission, but at the same time, it comes with the responsibility that we all know is very deep, because we're not here matching our children, but we're here to, bring our children, God's children, to receive the blessing. So today, my topic will be sharing a little bit on the matching supporters' role and mission and the internal aspects also that are needed in preparation for that. Last week, we also heard, in some sense from our regional BFD director, Reverend Bergray, around the matching supporter role. And that, of course, really expressed the roles that are, in general for matching supporters in regards to supporting the parents in also finding a suitable match. And so this is also what we'll be sharing, but we'll be sharing more also in regards to this program, as we are here assisting now with the 3-generational assisted matching and education program. This program is actually a tool. It's actually a tool. The desire for the blessing and receiving the matching is the same, and but it's a tool that we have put in place to also support parents, to support children, and create really that family structure that can really take care of the necessary needs in this time in our region, to also guide the children to the blessing. So that's where I'll be sharing a bit about that, because I still feel like that's, a little bit different from just the general matching supporter role, because we're asking you even to support in finding and really taking note and following up with potential candidates in whatever position they're in, not necessarily those that are already potential applicants, but those that are in blessing age that we really want to start reaching out and being able to connect eventually to the blessing. So that's where this program is, this session is going to be a little bit discussing that aspect, as well as I shared, the internal points of a matching supporter. From, of course, my understanding and centering on also my training Actually, before I received my mission and appointment as the youth YSP president and FFWP president for vice president for Africa, I just got into working and was appointed in Oceania as the youth BFD director. So I was already starting to learn and understand the general guidelines of the matching of the blessing department, and focusing specifically for the second generation. So a little bit to what now our new appointed Jinsong and Sunmi couple are playing. So I did learn, and with that, I'm also going to be presenting what I learned, because there are basic principles that are shared from also centering on international BFD regarding the role of matching supporters, and also guidance regarding the internal aspect. So I'll be sharing based on that, and we'll be having in the second session a panel discussion. So I hope also any questions you may have can be raised, and at the same time, in regards to what you're experiencing in the field can also be raised, so that we can really come together to answer and share together. So here I will be sharing about the second generation matching supporter roles and responsibilities. This specifically we're focusing this time is for the second generation and Jacob children born within and are living within our blessed families. So just to also maybe go through the explanation of the matching processes that we have identified here, is that I feel that there are three, but actually they all lead to one. How I'll explain this is first the parents matching process. Now our true parents have given the responsibility of the parents to give the matching. In a way, being in the position to stand as true parents, right, to match God's children. So in this sense, parents match their children with assistance from also the matching supporter, where the matching supporter plays the role in actually even trying to support and network with finding the right match and sharing that suggestion to the parents. So that's one aspect of the process. Then now we are also offering what we're calling the 3-generation family assisted matching process. This is where the regional president, as in the parent position, assisted in also by the Choniwan co-chair in the grandparent position, are to support and assist parents in suggesting the match to the parents. And the parents now also need to make a decision. So they need to take responsibility. So very in the same sense, the process is how the parents can match their children, but now guided and supported by the regional president, who also stands as a parent to the region based on his appointment as the regional president in our region. So this is where the support of the 3-generation program comes in to assist parents. Then we also have the Chonoguk matching process, which is there also to support children, mainly children who are in a situation also that have their parents are not in a position to give the matching. This can be for various reasons, also for challenges, or if the parents really feel that they would like the leadership to support them in matching their children. So why I'm saying leadership, actually leadership meaning the anointed leadership given by our true parents, the ones given by true parents to represent true parents in the region. So this is where our regional president, who stands in that position, plays a role as the parent and gives the matching to the children. So this is all a processes to support God's children to receive the matching. And, this is where we want to really identify these areas. And what is important here is that actually matching supporters play a role in all areas, which we'll come to see in more detail. But mainly, in one sense, in the parents matching, you are even there to support and guide the parents in finding a match, networking with other matching supporters, going on the website, meeting people. But that's one aspect of what you will be doing, supporting parents. At the same time, you need to understand the parents' desire and situation. You need to understand the candidate's desire and situation. But then also in the 3-generation family assisted matching process, your help and your position is also very needed. Not necessarily now in finding the match, but in really understanding the situation of the parents, understanding the situation of the children, and going to visit them wherever they are, understanding which position they're in. Are they already now potential candidates? Are they needing special grace? Are they in a situation where, you know, their parents are not involved? Are the children completely, you know, not involved? This kind of discussion and sharing needs to be had. We need to pinpoint everyone's as reality, and that needs to then be reported to the central figure who really is in that, basically the blessing committee in your nation, centering on your national leader, BFD, to really start looking at, okay, what are we going to do to follow up on this situation, each and every one? If they're already people who can go to become candidates, lead them to the education program that the region is offering. If they're people who are in a situation where they need more support, okay, what are we going to do as a nation, as a family, to support them? So this is where the matching supporter plays a role in guiding and supporting the parents and the potential candidates, the children, to come in line with the central kind of process of guidance, so that they can find solutions. You know, we shouldn't be leaving them out there. So this is one big aspect of what the matching supporter will do within this program, and what we are trying to achieve within this program, which is to really touch and find everyone and guide them through the process. Everyone has a potential to go to the blessing. It's now the matter of time in terms of what is needed, also, and the steps that are needed to either restore, or the steps that are needed to really move forward. This is what we need to look at. And then, of course, the Chonilkut matching also matching supporters are very needed, in a sense of guiding them through that process. You know, in many cases, in some cases with Chonilkut matching, perhaps there needs to be more guidance and support to them as candidates, and also to the parents, understanding the different situations and guiding and assisting. So the matching supporter plays a role in each process. But what I want to also identify is really these processes are not different from what the main desire, which is our true parents, represented by our parents or represented by their appointed leaders within the region, really are those to guide and give the matching in the way that our true parents are requiring us to give. So matching supporters assist that process, guide the candidates, guide the parents, and bring the leadership and the central figure to also understand the situation of the candidates and parents. So back again to this slide, which again, it emphasizes a bit more the national level committee, which is where we wanted to form the 3-generation structure that we have in the regional level, is really there to support as a family. And that same structure is even within the sub-region, it's even within the nation, you know, and we have to utilize it because the unity of this 3, meaning the parental and the kind of the grandparent position, advisory position, as well as the youth and the sibling position, really play a very big role in now bringing the whole family to come together. Because the blessing of our children is not just one person or one department, as maybe we may have thought. It's really the whole family. It's a family matter, because it's the blessing of God's children. So it's a family matter. So how do we bring this to the family? This is where now this committee is needed. And the committee, centering on the national leader, really plays a role as a spiritual advisor, you know, bringing also the team together, really also making the Chongsong and bringing, you know, that kind of advisory grandparent position role, I guess you could say. We've also got the BFD who represent, you know, the parent and the educators, coordinating also the matching supporters. So BFD, the central figures in a way of the matching supporters. They should be also the reporting of all candidates and potential situations of candidates should go to the BFD department and be able to go through it together and also report it up now to the central figure within the nation. And of course, all the different necessary steps to guide candidates, administrative steps also are shared within this BFD department. And this is where also now matching supporters play. They're connected, I feel, to the BFD department, meaning they're connected to understand the processes of the matching, understand the administrative guidelines, understand the BFD department rules and regulations, and then be able to mediate that. now with the candidates and parents, guide them with the right rules and processes. And everything also reported back to also BFD. Then we've also got the youth representing the sibling position, also there to assist and mobilize fellow siblings, and also provide guidance through, as an elder sibling, and collate the reports and support in administration. Again, they also are people who can now visit their brothers and sisters, but with the desire to also support them, guide them, and that visitation report should be even shared with the National Committee to understand better the situation of the candidates or the parents. So this, again, just to refresh our minds on our roles and responsibilities, and really expressing how working together as three is very important. Mother's words in that is that normally 3 points are needed in order to create harmony. 2 points would only constitute a line. You cannot discuss harmony based on just a straight line. Harmony can be created only when 3 or more points are connected together. Yeah, so this committee is still, I feel, in formation. It's not, maybe in some nations it's still forming, it's still harmonizing, but I believe through this program, through this education, through our process as we're going through this period, will be a way for us to really unite, which I think will definitely help us in the long term, because really spiritual world works through unity. God works through unity, and we need God in the work, in the matching and blessing process of God's children. So how important is it that we come together and form that environment for which also God can be present to help and guide in matching and blessing his children. And so this committee is really there for that purpose, and we are still in its formation, guiding it to also be more and more suitable and united for the purpose of guiding and supporting the matching and blessing of God's children. So that's just to give you an overview of our current program and the roles and responsibilities of matching supporters, the matching processes that we have that are offered within our region, but really stressing how important that everything is to how to bring God, true parents, into our lives, into our, position as parents representing them, so that we can match and guide their children to receive the matching and blessing and the ultimate gift. So what we'll learn today is the importance of the matching supporter, also the matching supporter's role in both sides a little bit, but in the side of specifically in this program, what we are wanting you also to really guide and support the candidates to realize, and also matching supporters' essential abilities, and also the mindset and attitude, the internal content characters that we all also need to exhibit as matching supporters. So yes, this slide has many pictures, so I hope you don't get bored or distracted by them, but this is what we were sharing. So the 3 factors in finding the right match is, first and foremost, is the candidate and the family's life of faith, and character, education, their understanding and guidance, and developing that. And then, of course, updating their profile, meaning, presenting their candidate, their qualifications, fulfilling the necessary steps. That's the first thing that needs to happen, actually. And so in some times, as we are looking at each person's situation, in some cases, this might still be needed even before anything else, really understanding their life of faith, how to guide them through that. And, that's one step to preparing them now for becoming a potential qualified candidate. Yeah. And then, of course, it's also knowing the matching processes and tools, the tools to support and finding the right match. So if it's in the position of parents matching, and we also have, the website and understanding that and how to find a match through that. We also want to really increase networking among matching supporters. And of course, now with the 3-generation assisted matching, we are creating this program to also bring a pool of all our candidates together and allow for also matching to be done. We also have the parents matching, PMC convocations, parents matching convocations, also mainly how to find the right match, centering now on our true parents guidance, and the parents, how they can be able to be responsible to match their children. So that's also a necessary factor in finding the right match. And then the other is the matching supporter, which is really the one to kind of meet the people, meet the candidates, meet the parents, find out where they are, what is their situation, provide support, counseling, indicate education, guide them to the education that we are offering on the regional or national level, offer visitations and follow-up in the situation where the matching has occurred between the parents, between the children, also allow for families to meet up, to also communicate, be the mediator to bring two families together to support them in the communication. We need to really understand the international guidelines and procedures of the matching process, so be very attentive to all the rules, because you are in a position to say what needs to be done. So if you don't know, don't say, go back to BFD, go back to know what is the right process in regards to their particular processes to receiving the matching. And so really understanding also the matching, which is expressed here also in maybe reading the family matching handbook, which also gives more detail on our guidance as a matching supporter. And then we also have the importance of the matching supporter. So, in the marriage blessing, as an essential part of our lives, parents and candidates are the ones deciding the partner, right? This is the real role and responsibility now, even God and true parents have given to the parents and candidates to take responsibility in deciding and bringing the match together. However, matching supporters play a key role, are basically a key factor in helping to guide the candidates and parents to the right process so God can work in their matching process. Yeah. So we have to recognize that you play a role as a mediator to really bring the parents and candidates also to connect to the central figure, to connect to understanding the process, the right way to guide and support and the matching of their children. Yeah. So matching supporters' role in general is, in the general sense, you are there to really understand the matching of the candidate situation, interview them, counseling them, and also at the same time, potentially look for, imagine a suitable type of match for them through understanding their situation and their, required needs. Also search for candidates and list them up, talk with candidates' parents and reduce, your list to around 3 candidates, and then meet the parents to share potential matches to them. Talk with the possible matches' parents, and then bring the families together to have communication and organize meetings of both families, so then the parents can make a decision around the matching and then make that decision. So support them through the process of finding the right match for their children and bringing them to come together to communicate and guide them through that process. So that's the general role in regards to matching supporter, supporting parents to match their children. In the case of our program, also it's the same, but this time we're putting also the parents and the leaders who are representing the parent position, true parents position, to also guide and support the parents in matching their children. So which means the role now of matching supporters is not to meet and find potential matches, but it's to bring now the candidates that are potential candidates to receive the education, to be part of the matching process that is offered, and to be guiding the parents through this process. Because you are on the national level, how we need to meet and guide each person is very specific. It's not just one way, not just coming to Zoom and that's the only way. We have to go and meet them, follow them up, find out what is their situation, where are they at, are the parents interested, are the parents not, are the children interested, what level are they at? This is very interested, so very needed. So the main thing, or the main role, the first role, is to be able to visit candidates, potential candidates and parents. So the National Blessing Committee, the desire is that we list all the potential candidates of second generation and Jacob children in our nation, all of them, no matter, regardless where they are at, because they are God's children regardless. of where they are at in the world. They are God's children. So how are we going to bring them and approach them? This is needed. This communication and discussion is needed. Even strategies need to be put in place. Who will be the one to be assigned to this family? Because maybe they have a connection of heart with that family, or maybe they don't. Maybe they have no history, so that may be also a good thing. There's no resentment there. So how to really meet each and every person, or go at least find a way to try. And this is what is needed. Even Trimother has expressed, we're now in the 210 devotion. One of the things is going and meeting even inactive members. So go and meet our inactive youth as well, our inactive second gen blessing age. We can't just say, oh, we just focus on the candidates who are here who want to go to the matching. We have to go out and meet them. That's why this list is important. And each person should be assigned a matching supporter. You know, everyone should have a link to some connection, you know, that connection that God can work through, a kind of a mediator for which God can work through, so that that person has a chance to eventually connect back, right? So I feel that's the role of the matching supporter in this period, you know, how to make sure everyone in our nation is assigned with a particular matching supporter that knows the general rules of the blessing and matching process, and also really is going there to meet with the heart of bringing them, connecting them to Heavenly Parent and being the voice of Heavenly Parent. So that's one big part. Of course, interviewing also the candidates that are in your position who are already preparing for the blessing, understanding their situation. Are they ready? What kind of steps do they need to take to be more ready? What documents do they need to fulfill? And these kind of things. Second is also to report our visitation to the blessing committee. As I shared, this blessing committee, maybe beforehand, maybe you just reported to BFD, or, you know, is fine, right? But BFD is that central line to report, but truly also coming together as a family to express certain situations. Of course, confidential things we're not going to express on a big platform, you know, and the main thing for that confidential thing is only through your central figure. But if, you know, in terms of understanding the different situations of the families, I also feel the need of having our youth couples or young leaders there to also share, because they're the ones in a position of siblings to also, you know, share with the parents what is the reality of some of their siblings in the world, in order to have a better solution to certain situations. So this is also why reporting that to the blessing committee, and also educate and encourage them to join the regional education program. So at this point, we are offering this program, which I feel is really now there as a whole structure, as one family, as one region coming together. So there's a lot of chance now also, I feel, to receive the proper guidance as one, right? Not one group here, but really as one, centering on our true parents, and so that we can move together as one in regards to the matching and blessing of our children. And then also make sure that they have completed all their steps to be candidates. We noticed that many people have said, yes, they want to be candidates, but then actually, have they fulfilled the steps to be candidates? Actually, many have not. So how to guide them? You know the processes, you know the steps. So how to make sure they fulfill all those steps? This is also what is needed to be communicated. We don't want to be in a situation where they want to go to the matching, but they haven't done their medical test. They haven't done their interview of a confessional, and they haven't done the necessary requirements that are needed for them even to be candidates. At this point, many of them may be in just applicant position, but not yet candidates for the blessing. And then we want to support them in their communication period. Even the situation of maybe the parents will need to meet if it's within the same country, or initiating the parent meeting within the Zoom, right? You need to be that follow-up. You know, that's where you, like, once their parents match, the leadership match, give a suggested match to their children, and now the parents need to communicate to make a decision. So that support also will be needed, guiding them through that period of communication as well, and also guiding them throughout their first year of starting family. We truly want this time, matching supporters don't just stop at the matching period, even kind of in a position to also guide and counsel and take care of the couple in regards to the blessing. Yeah, at least for 1 year. We are this year, we are planning to create a 1 year kind of dedication period in the sense that we guide them even through this 1 year of starting family, because the blessing is not the end, right? The blessing is the beginning. So let's really give them a kickstart to how they really can start their family. This year also, we are working on developing such a program, 1 year dedication period to support the first young couples as they receive the blessing. And then, so that's in regards to the roles that we want to put forward for this period. As we are here in the 21-day devotion, you are now also in training, retraining. Some of you already are matching supporters, I know, but we're here to come together as one, to listen together, centering on, you know, so we can move forward together as one in regards to the education, content and guidance. And so the essential abilities that we feel are needed for matching supporters is first, even counseling, consultation, sharing and listening. We need to be able to listen to the candidates, listen to the parents, counsel them, share with them, give them guidance. So that's where I think our Choniwan really mentioned the need for a lot of spiritual devotion, because we're not counseling them in our horizontal or what we think is right, but counseling them in the way that God wants them to be counseled, or what God wants to share with them. You know, so that's where the position is a very, very, it's not a simple position. You know, we are really in a position to guide and centering on heavenly parentship parents. Second, of course, is education. You know, providing the faith and guidance, continuous education and guidance, connecting them to the education content that the region is offering as centering on the regional president regarding the education of the blessing candidates. Also Chongsong, right? Really offering the Chongsong and connecting them with the pastor, connecting them with the central figure. Yeah, we can't be the one that they say, oh, only my matching supporter, I can only talk to my matching supporter and only my matching supporter can help me. I think it's more like how we can even bring them, be the mediator to bring them to the central line, because to be honest, that the central figure plays that role, you know, to really give the solution. That's where Heavenly Fortune really works, because that's the appointment, the centering now on the central figure. God has to find people for which God can also really work through in the nation. And that is the position of the national leader, the central figure. And we need to also bring that connection for those in the position of wanting to receive the matching and blessing. Bring them, be the mediator. And then, of course, visitation and administration. So we need to have the skills to understand the administrative requirements. Actually, this is a lot. In the matching and blessing process, there's a lot of administration. It's not just a simple, okay, you know, we match, because there's a lot of reporting that is needed. Data needs to also be put in place. We heard the importance of that, because if we don't have the right data, we don't know what is the situation of each person, and we may make wrong decisions because our administrative aspects are not correct. So this is also very important. We may think it's something simple, you know, but it's not. How we report the confession interviews also, you know, we can't just leave them hanging around and then they get taken away or read by other people that shouldn't. So there's a lot of things that also we need to improve here in our region regarding this. And we are also working on that, creating a good system of support for you to be, you know, have the skills also to really administer everything that is needed. Of course, also, you know, of the matching website, we'll be giving more guidance on that later on, because we're not using it for this matching process because we're within our region at this point. But for those who are in a situation already of parents matching and they need some guidance in finding their right match, of course, the matching website is there. And also we want to this time form a matching supporters network globally, so that we can even have a more understanding of how to meet potential candidates to give suggestions to the parents. So this is also an important essential ability. Counseling, being able to listen and share, centering on Heavenly Parent, education, guidance and faith and also on the blessing and matching process, ministry and Chongsong, understanding and guidance of Chongsong and connecting, be the mediator to the pastor, and also visitation and administration skills. Yeah. So everything is a step-by-step process. It's not just, you know, suddenly that we're going to find a match. We need to prepare from each stage, from a child, right, to leading them to the communication phase, commitment phase, and then eventually the blessing. So each step is important, and everything is a process, right, where the Lord will make you victorious. So what makes a successful matching supporter? There are four things that I'll be sharing. First, we need to understand the process. So what is the process of the matching in this case? What is the process of the parents matching? What is the process of the 3-generational matching? You know, understanding it, because people will be asking, how do we get into the matching? We want to go to this matching. How do we do that? You know, so understand that. Know the best practices, right? So learn how different ways to find and support candidates to find the right match, and also know available tools, right? So in the sense of, if it's on the level of parents matching and you are supporting the parents to guide them to find the right match, then of course it's finding, you know, the right tools such as the website, networking, meeting different families, and that is needed. In this case, one of the tools is the 3-generation assisted matching program. So guiding them also to understand that, learn that, and even want to commit to that, so also they can go through this matching. But most importantly is to have the heart of the parent. This is what really makes a successful matching supporter, meaning really standing in the position and seeing yourself as the position of the mediator to the parent and the child, mediator to the central figure and the parents, you know, to really support them in seeing the right line in the right way to go through the matching and blessing process. So now I want to go through the 10 golden rules of the matching supporters. And this is more, I guess, the internal content as well as guidelines that we feel are very important for matching supporters to have, and so that we can really make a successful environment to match and support God's children. The first is understanding your mission as a matching supporter. And one thing that is expressed is the position of Trinity is very important, and really standing in a position to mediate. I've been mentioning this a lot, between God, the parents, and the candidate. God works through the power of Trinity. So we need to be the mediator also between the parents and the children sometimes, and also be the mediator between the candidates and the central figure, and the central figure standing in the position of true parents, standing in the position of heavenly parent. So this is the matching supporters mission, really, is that's where, again, the importance of Chongsong and the internal aspect of really connecting with what God wants is needed, because you're in a position to mediate, even sometimes between parents and their candidates. Maybe they're not communicating very well. So you need to hear the candidate situation, hear the parent situation, and support that mediation, guide them to communicate, guide them to unite. At the same time, you may be needing to be a mediator between the central figure and the parents, you know, to guide them to understand and see from the central position, central figure's point of view, and be able to be aligned in the right way in matching their children. So this is very important. It's a very important mission. And that's where, again, the need for our complete utmost Chongsong is needed. So really matching supporter plays that mediator role. As we know, parents now are in a position to match their children. True Parents gave this direction. And that's why even now we are promoting that. That's what we want. We want parents to match their children. This is the time for parents to stand as true parents. That's the great honor that we have already as blessed families. We have the ability to stand as true parents to match God's children. It's an amazing position. And that's why we need to be ready for that. We need to get ready for that. We cannot take it lightly. And so we are still in the transition of this in a way, because I have to say we're not all ready. Already when last year, when we also discussed this with some parents, we wanted to hear what is the current difficulties. Many parents felt they don't feel qualified to match their children. Yeah, many parents felt that. And of course, even many children even felt they don't know if their parents know how to match their children. They don't trust maybe. So there's definitely some challenge there. And we can't just put the parents in that situation, the children in that situation, without the guidance and support to really raise them to that level where they will be true parents to match their children. Yeah. So this is where really this is important. We're not here to change the parents' position. No, we're here to bring the parent's position to the right position, which is true parents' position to match their children. This is what this program is for. This is what even the Chonuguk matching is for. It's really to guide and support and make sure all the children receive the blessing in accordance with true parents' guidelines. Without that, if we just say, okay, now true parents said it's parents matching, but we are not ready in the sense that we haven't reached the level for which we can match God's children, then of course, you know, we have to give the right support structure around that. But it's not to disempower the parents. It's actually to empower them, to get everyone ready to be in the position to stand as parents, because that's reality. We're not in a position to stand as parents if we're making our children not aligned with our God. We can't stand as parents and say we're parents of our God's children if they can't recognize God, you know. So what do? We don't obviously just give up, but we have to find that way and that process. And that's where this structure for me, this 3-generation structure, is a family structure to bring all the parents, all the children, and support them to realize their position as parents, as children, so that they can enter into the matching process according to God's desire and guidelines. So true parents gave the responsibility for matching to the parents, and the parents, you know, representing actually true parents. We are representing true parents, right? In a way, we are meant to be true parents. We're meant to, that's why we're given this responsibility. Even now, to be tribal messiahs, we are now in the position to be messiahs to our tribe, right? True parents position. So we have to recognize that parents are in that position, are meant to be in that position, and they have the authority to make matches for their children. And so the candidates also have the responsibility in their matching decision. Actually, I have to say, many times people say, oh, the Chonuguk matching is absolute, you cannot, you don't have any choice. But actually in every decision, even in the case of true parents matching, there was a choice. But, you know, the timing might have been shorter, right? Our parents, actually, they had a choice to first discuss, even though they couldn't communicate, maybe in terms of language, but they had a chance to say yes or no. And once they do, they had to go in front of true parents and bow. Yeah. So that was a period. The decision and responsibility of the candidate is also there. Candidates should never say, oh, I didn't have a choice. Their choice is which now matching process they go through. Once they commit to that, when they say yes, that's it. You know, when they make that commitment, that cannot be changed. But we cannot use that excuse, oh, I had no choice. You know, I had no choice. No, I think we need to create the environment for candidates to say, yes, you are also responsible for this decision. You are responsible under the guidelines, under the principle, you are responsible. Yeah, so we have to also give this understanding to them, because many times if they think they had no choice, a lot of the time they don't take responsibility for that decision, and it easily can break, I have to say, because we make this feeling like, oh, my parents decided, they didn't know. So this is very important, also something we need to really support candidates to come to understand, that they are also responsible. The children are also responsible in their decision. And yeah, so this is where, you know, I wanted to share again, just expressing again, I shared this before, the parents matching, the matching processes, but I really feel every process is to bring true parents into the picture to match God's children. Every process, it's not different. You know, maybe we think it's different, but everything for me, even parents matching, is to guide parents to get to the level where they also stand as true parents to match their children. The 3-generational family assisted matching is to support parents and children with the structure that true parents put in place to represent them in the region. Right, so that's where, again, bringing true parents to make sure things are supported and well aligned, so that the matching can be done in the proper way, the blessing can be done in the proper way. Chonuguk matching also to bring true parents to match God's children, meaning the represented leader representing true parents to guide and support children who are maybe in a situation where they don't have their parents to match them, or they're in a situation where their parents are not involved, or, you know, the parents have really requested for the support of the leader to represent them. So each position is still parents standing, representing true parents to match God's children, because they are not our children, they're God's children. So true parents have given us that responsibility, but we need to be able to now stand in that qualification. And that's where these processes are there for. So the other point is to really also love your mission. We understand that the matching supporter role is not, you know, something that is a job. You shouldn't think it's a job, and that you need certain, you know, certain monetary things to support you in this. But really, it's your mission. You really want to do it, and it's not out of obligation. You don't have to do it, but you want to do it, right? And we're not doing it for just obligation, but we're doing it with gratitude and love. We're not necessarily receiving money, but we're receiving a lot of spiritual grace, because we're putting ourselves in a position for which God can work to guide and support his children. And so it's really not what, you know, do what you love, right? It's to do what you love and really do it with the right heart. And this is the attitude of volunteerism that we feel matching supporters also should really have to support them in this mission. They should feel a calling to this mission, and also in your time, you know, make a specific period of time. Don't say you're matching supporters and then you're busy and you're not available to be contacted by your candidates or your particular, or the parents, or even the National Blessing Committee. We cannot be saying we're matching supporters if we don't have the time to really support the candidates and the parents and the leaders in also guiding and supporting the blessing. So really we have to specify our time that we have and give you clear availability to this. It doesn't mean it's your only role, because as you're volunteering, obviously there's many different roles you may be playing. Some of you are in leadership positions, some of you are working, some of you are in different types of fields, but make a period of time that you really commit to this and offer it completely. So fourth is respect confidentiality. So this is very, very important. We have noticed actually that because this maybe hasn't been kept that well, a lot of people have lost maybe some trust in how they share and what they share. And this is very bad, because it means that God can't work. God can't work in really our openness, sharing completely openly what is our situation. Actually, Satan works through hidden things. That's how things usually are done in the world. When we hide things, that's where Satan can infest very, very quickly. So we have to create an environment for people to fully open everything, because that's where Satan doesn't work, because he has no base to work if we completely open and offer everything up to God. So we, in a position to receive anything that is being shared, need to make sure that space is there for the candidates to feel trust, to feel open, to really convey everything to God, and you being in a position of mediating that, taking it in, but really being able to digest it and support now their journey to recovery, repentance, or whatever journey they need to take to really come back to God, because really this is necessary. You know, this path of completely offering ourselves is necessary. So understand the importance of confidentiality, you know, the basis of trust and loyalty. Matching supporters should be someone who respects this completely confidentiality. They feel they are trustworthy. They are good listeners. They listen, you know, not just there only to give guidance, but really try and understand, listen, you know, be an effective communicator. Support good communication and unity between a family and another family, between parents and children. So actually the communication skills is something we also want to offer in this matching supporter education content, because it's so needed, you know, and the internal aspect of it, but even the external aspect of how to communicate, what to say, in many ways, you know, how to listen without thinking first what we need to say, but how to just completely open ourselves to listen. So this is very also important, and we need to really express this, and we also will be sharing more on how to communicate better. But just to emphasize again, really, we need to respect this, because once we break trust, right, it's very, very long to bring it back. It's very, very long. Trust takes years to build, but actually seconds to break, and even forever to repair. This is a quote, and I really feel this is true. And we are now even in that process where we have to start to build that trust again, because a lot of, I feel from our understanding of certain situations, a lot of us also are losing that trust in maybe the system, because things haven't been done in the proper order, or things haven't been shared in the proper order. And then fifth, we have to have a heart of impartiality and non-judgmental. So this is actually the heart of the parent, right? We cannot be biased or have favoritism. We cannot be a family that matching supporter that says, oh no, that family is not good. Oh no, we can't go to them. You know, you need to be the ones to even give the families confidence to look at each other with God's eyes, not with any of their own individual eyes. You know, no self-centered thinking, no discrimination, you know, no color lenses. Right, no having a heart of forgiveness, a heart of embracing, a heart of empathy. Yeah, this is all needed for us to represent God. God is not God with seeing different colors, seeing different cultures, seeing different tribes. Right, God is God, looking at all of us as God's children, and we in the mediator to bring the parents and children to bring the God into the matching process for the parents and children. We need to be also in that position as Heavenly Parent is, as a parent, you know, loving completely, unconditionally, and supporting the parents to do the same, supporting the children even to do the same. You know, we cannot be, still we are a movement, unfortunately, that are saying things like, oh, I can't match my children to this tribe, or I can't match that children to this country. This is something we have to completely overcome, because this is not God's standard. Even the way why our parents were matched interracial, intercultural, was because to remove all of those barriers that unfortunately have been put in place by Satan. So also, we need to understand our candidate. We need to have a prayerful heart, right? Understand the candidates and establish a relationship of trust, understand their character, understand their situation and the best approach for them, what is needed, and also really establish God-centered, what is their vision, you know, what is their desire for their family, and even guide them to allow them to have that vision to establish a God-centered ideal family. So this is needed for the candidates and also the parents of the candidates. Be a good communicator, all right? Expand your network with global mindset. So matching supporters is a connector. They should know, right? People in different places, categories, and situations. They should know the tools to reach a wider range of possible candidates. They should ensure good communication, understanding, and trust between candidates and parents, and encourage regular communication with the matching team. Right, it's a global network. We are part of a global network. So really the matching supporter network is also what we need to start expanding and bringing everyone to be connected. And we need to be truthful, frank, and honest. We need to have complete honesty, right? Not hiding, disclose, you know, fully, frankly disclose what needs to be said sometimes to the family or the candidates. You know, we cannot be in a situation where they're doing the wrong thing and we just sit and watch, but we say, what is the principled way? What is, you know, we cannot, even if it hurts people's feelings, we have to say what is the principled way. And this is something also we have to be very clear about. We can help candidates and families in the process of finding other candidates, but really be truthful about the different situations. Openly share what is the situation of that family, what is the situation of that candidate. You know, of course, respecting the confidentiality, but definitely, you know, making sure that things are not disclosed and hidden until the matching. We have to already start dealing with whatever situation is needed to support them. And also helpful. We need to be really helpful during the introduction and communication process, you know, supporting, being the mediator and communication mediator between the different parents and families. Yes. So 9 is spiritually and emotionally stable. So we also need to be stable in our emotions. It's very easy in certain situations, families or children, different situations where, you know, there might be some emotional challenges to face, but we need to be very stable with it, spiritually and emotionally. We have to recognize that conflict and crisis can be there inevitably, but we need to manage that, and we need to offer spiritual conditions and really have a prayerful heart so that we can connect our antenna to God. So whatever situation we have faced or we have that comes to us, maybe from the family, that we need to be able to know how to bring it up to God first, offer it so that we can digest it and also share the necessary guidance or share it with our central figure to be able to also receive the necessary guidance. So really the need to connect to God, right? The password is prayer to God's Wi-Fi. So understanding the process and learn also the technology and have continuous learning. We have to continually learn. We cannot stay at one matching process or matching guidelines. You know, in many ways, we have to always be updated with what is coming from international headquarters, centering on our true parents, what is coming from our regional headquarters, and what we need to be applying, what we need to be sharing with our potential, with the candidates, with the parents, to support them in bringing them to the matching and blessing. So we need to understand the matching process, assist applications, right? And make sure the documents are done, educate and encourage applicants. And also we may be the ones to support and host educational programs, especially centering on BFD, centering on the national leader, you know, create educational support systems, and then also support in developing matching plans for the parents and the children to prepare them. What are the necessary steps to be ready for the matching? So there are many steps to take, and you know, these 10 points I feel give us some understanding of what kind of role we have as matching supporters and what we really need to do, and emphasizing again that we are continuously needing to learn, needing to grow, and really connecting always, first and foremost, to Heavenly Parent and True Parents and the guidance given by their representatives, so that we can make the right decisions in supporting the parents and their children to receive the matching. So matching supporters serve as support who knows during the introduction and communication phase. They are very helpful. They also prepare the commitment ceremony, right? Making sure the commitment is recorded, the matching support, the matching report is recorded. They can also, they will be regular reporting to BFD. So all the visitations that you do, all the communications that you do, regularly upload, share that with BFD so that they are knowing all the data of each candidate, where they are in the process. Because that's what we want to do this time, really clearly identify where they are in the process. We don't want to have anyone out of the process. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean that they'll go to the blessing this year, but at least they're in a process, meaning they're being visited, they're being guided, they're being talked to, their parents are being talked to, there's some education for them. You know, if it means just visiting them every month, or every, 2 months in order to keep that connection, that's also a process for me. We have to start listing everyone and making sure they're in a process. If not matched, we can also encourage couples to prepare their offering of gratitude and also their blessing fee. This is actually something we in Africa, we've been missing. We need to create a clear system of how this matched candidate is going to fulfill their blessing fee. If not matched, also matching supporters can guide the candidates and families to learn from the experience. So meaning to guide those that don't get matched this time. We have to recognize not everyone will get matched this time, but we should not lose hope, and we should not allow our candidates to lose hope. We should continue and keep engaging them in that preparation and guiding them eventually to receive and be successfully matched. When the time is right, we need to begin again by making a new matching plan. And then after the blessing, also we'll be encouraging couples to continue the education. Here it says blessing level 3, but as I said, we'll be doing a 1-year kind of dedication period for young couples this year to guide them through the process. Doesn't mean every day we have education, but at least every month we meet them, we guide them, we support them, we understand their situation, and we make sure they really make a strong commitment and great kickstart to their blessing and starting family. So in summary, we need to understand first our matching supporters mission, right? Which is truly the mission to be the mediator, to bring God into the picture, to bring God and Heavenly Parent, true parents into the process. We need to also understand the matching process and the tools to assist the matching. And in this case, the 3-generation assisted matching, really let's understand what that is, because people may want to go through this. So how can we explain that to them? We need to share that. We need to love our mission, right? Even though we're voluntarily offering this time, really love it, but make sure we make the time as well and give that time. Respect confidentiality and really have the heart of impartiality, as God's heart, a parental heart with no judgment, and really loving and looking at everyone with God's eyes. 6, we need to understand our candidates and the parents' situation and guide them in the necessary processes. 7, be a good communicator, right? Expand our network within our region, within our world. 8, be truthful, frank, and honest basically really be principled in our approach and what we share and what is needed to be shared. 9, spiritually and emotionally stable, deal with anything that comes, be able to digest it, not with any being emotion, but really centering on bringing it to God. And 10, understanding the processes that are needed, learning the technology, and continually keep learning. So as we shared, really, this is a process. It doesn't happen just like that. Sometimes we have to push harder. Sometimes we have to meet and talk with the candidates more. You know, I heard last week when we had our meeting, you know, I think for 1 year, some of us are trying to bring the children to connect, bring the parents to connect, but still nothing. But we shouldn't give up. We shouldn't give up, because truly we are there to bring the treasure of heavenly parents really to come and shine, which is God's children. Let's bring them out from the darkness and bring them to shine and receive the greatest gift, the ultimate gift, as we heard yesterday from our Hunduke. The blessing is the ultimate gift. The greatest happiness that can come is from the blessing. So really let us be patient and let's really do this together. And that's what I would like to share. Really thanking everyone and asking us that we really take this time to make our commitment, supporting the parents, supporting the children to bring God's great offering into and bring them to God and Heavenly Parent, true parents. Thank you very much.
Merci énormément à notre vice-présidente.
Thank you very much to Regional Vice President for preparing this content for us this morning. And there are really many things to understand and digest. And I'm sure many of them will ask to have this document to have a better preparation. So this shows how important our mission and responsibility is here, BFG matching supporters. So last week I was telling you that the vice president was really focused on this program. Believe me, she's really working hard and for this program, and we are working all together. And so our hearts and our attitude during this period is really important. That is what will guide us from the throughout the process up to the blessing. So now we are going to continue as I presented in our program. We'll have a short video. You'll be a little pause, and then after the pause, we're going to move on to the group discussion. So I'll ask the technical team if you're ready to share the video with us.
이상도
Merci pour la vidéo partagée avec nous. Alors que nous étions en train de regarder, je me baladais sur
So
le
thank
canal.
you for this.
Ils ont vraiment le pouvoir de nous faire, de nous rendre, tout le monde sourit et des sourires.
Thank you for this video. And while the video was playing, I was looking at the screen and I really saw that your parents have the power to give us a smile because everyone was smiling while the video was moving. So now we're going to move on to the next session, that is question and answers. The content of our Vice President's presentation was this. I'm sure you have many questions. So I ask to the technical team to spotlight our regional vice presidents, and I'm going to open the session of question and answers. So they are matching supporters. If you have questions, and if you have questions, please you can lift your hand or use the emoji of the hand lifted so I can see you and give you the opportunity of opening your mic.
Quand vous posez vos questions, vous pouvez
When
aussi,
asking your question,
vous êtes libre de les adresser soit à la vice-présidente,
you can
à
address them to the vice president, to Reverend Bokria, regional BFT, or directly to our regional president.
Angolio.
So we have Mrs. Angolio Milambo. You can open your mic and ask your question.
Good morning, our elders, our dear Papa, Muse Kamara. I like calling him Muse. It's a lot of respect, like Swahili this side of East Africa, and the Papa Kadima, and our dear beloved daughter, who really spoke very nicely and clearly. First, before to ask my question, I have to share something small. Of course, I'm a matching supporter. And before this parents matching to be really well known to us, we, like me, my family, we struggle to match our children. The time two parents said there is no more matching, they cannot do matching. So we tried until the system came now clear. I matched some of my children, trying to find out here and there. There's one issue. Okay, I matched them, and then they start a family, and the husband, after some few years, comes up saying that, you know, you are a very good person, you are wonderful, but I can't continue because this all I did because of my parents. It was a bomb. Of course, I have even blood pressure to take it, to hold it, to move with it. And the parents of the child were saying, you know, please, the contractors, let the girl be patient, let her support. We are going to talk to him, blah, 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 blah. We did a lot of conditions. And then our daughter told us, Mom, the parents do not understand the heart of their son. He is completely saying that he did it because they pushed him, and because of them, he went for the blessing, but it's unfair for me. And I said, we said, we can't push our daughter to supporting, to accepting, to be patient, because the young man will not be happy, and there can't be a good marriage, a good blessing. So the best way, let us just let's dissolve it, because even our daughter said that, say, Mom, we can't continue because he is sincere, honest, and I don't want to be there because of his parents. We dissolve it. Luckily enough, she went for another blessing. I'm sharing this because I'm the same thing this week as matching supporter. I'm faced in the same problem. One family comes up, give something, and they hear. I'm saying maybe the parents may be there or not. The gentleman is saying, I did this because of the parent. And you are not the type of the girl that I want. But I would bear with it because the parents, they represent the daughter. So I'm asking this question. I have my experience, and this, do we think we should really say, okay, young boy, just support and bear with it because we are your parents. As a parent, you are a parent, you have to accept our decision. Or the other family to tell them, let's also your child, because the girl received the message and they read it and the boy is talking about it. We tell the other family, okay, let the girl also continue bearing, be patient. I'm sharing this one because we are doing this matching. Some of our parents, we don't understand the heart of the children because the final decision is about the child. As our daughter shared it, being a supporter, being a parent in the same time, I'm facing this thing. I cried for 1 week, I've been praying for it. I shared somehow, but what can we do? If you can share more about it, because it looks the same situation that my daughter was in. Thank you.
OK. Merci, Madame Angolio, pour la question.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Angolio, for the question. I don't know if Vice President is ready to answer. If so, I'll give the floor to our Vice President for the answer.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Mrs. Angolio, for the question and for your sharing. I feel I can share something, and also I feel the regional president, but I feel more than sharing now. Actually, this case, there's cases. This is a case by case situation, and we do want to have different sessions to deal with people who are within this situation and who are faced with this situation, parents who are faced with this situation, in order to be well guided in how to direct and support this situation. So we will have that. This period is more like overall guidance, but we want to also go specific case by case aspects. But in regards to this, just generally, I think it still comes down to the role of the parents, really standing as the parental, as the true parents, and understanding that relationship of as a parent to the child, understanding and communicating with the child, and also for the child to also come to understand the position of the parents and have the heart of Hyojong. So we are kind of matching children and guiding children, but yet not yet always at the standard of our true parents. So that's why certain things like this can come about. But that's where now the importance of offering that situation to Heavenly Parent, true parents, and also now reporting it to the central line in terms of our central figures, the regional president, really, so that we can start to see how can we also deal with this specific case, and how can we support the parents to guide and talk and communicate with the children, but also how can the children come to truly understand the heart of the parent. So yes, if sharing based on my points that I put, what is important is the responsibility of the child as well. This is also our fallen nature, because we think, okay, because of my parents, I was just forced. But in a way, it's also our fallen, we're not necessarily forced. We have to make that decision. We all have to make a decision and be responsible for it. And the parents also should, they recognize that, everyone plays a role in the decision and taking on the responsibility of this. And this is one thing we do want to emphasize. Me as a sibling, I really feel that's necessary for our children, also my brothers and sisters, to recognize, at the end of the day, by saying yes, they've taken responsibility, right? So before they say yes, they shouldn't say now, oh, only my parents' fault, that's why I said yes. No, there's a role they played. But so understanding that, so before even they say yes, then if really they can't, then they communicate with the parent, they share with the parent, they try and understand, if the parent doesn't understand, then again, bringing it up together now to the central figure to also guide them, to mediate that discussion if need be. Yeah, but all of this, I think, requires more sharing and perhaps case-by-case situation. But that's what I feel I can offer in this time. It's not maybe dealing directly with answering your question, but at least showing that we are putting things in process to maybe avoid these kind of situations, because it has existed and it is existing, but we need to start realizing everyone's responsibility in achieving the matching. We all have a role to play. So that's what I can share. Yeah, thank you. I don't know if the regional president also has something. That's what I can share.
Okay. Merci à notre vice-présidente pour la réponse. Est-ce que notre président régional voudrait ajouter quelque chose?
Thank you to our vice president for the answer. I don't know. The regional president wants to add something.
Ok, merci.
Okay, thank you.
Pour la réponse.
Thank you to the vice president for the answer. And thank you for giving me the floor.
Suivre l'expérience de Mama Molio, Mama Bilambo.
After following the experience of Mama Bilango, there's something important that that is very visible. What is it? Is the education of candidates and parents for the blessing. Generally, as parents, we wait for our children to have the blessing age before talking to them about the blessing. Why? I read in two parents' words that it seems they are small that you have to start putting in the conscience of children that they have to receive parents and that the choice of they have to receive the blessing and that the choice of the blessing or the partner is coming to parents. As from 8 years, you have to start putting them in their education. They should know they have to receive the blessing and the choice will be done by the parents. If you already have it in your mind, that the choice of my partner have to come from my parents, this kind of situations cannot exist. We have already heard this so many times. I accepted because my parents said this or that or made the choice. But the fact of accepting there's a responsibility inside. You're the one who will live with this partner, not the parents. So there's a problem at that level. Children flee away from their responsibility for one reason or another, and also the irresponsibility of parents on the education of children on the blessing. These are the two things that makes that we have in this type of situation, because generally we wait the period of blessing to prepare the child for the blessing, while the child has already received many things from outside or from others in such a way that he's in a position that he cannot easily accept the decision of parents. So, if the decision of the blessing was in our mind since the year of 8 years, 9 years, then things would have been difficult. It would have been different.
Jamais entendu cela. Il arrive en 15 ans, 20 ans, on est tout à fait préparé pour aller à la bénédiction. Elle va te dire, à moi, en tout cas, je ne veux pas que mes parents décident.
If you wait for 15 years, 16 years, you hear them saying that I don't want a parent to do the choice. Why? Because they already have something in your head. Yesterday, I received a young man that had a difficulty in making the choice.
Mais après, ils voient la personne avec qui ils ont communiqué apparaître sur son Facebook. Pour elle, pour lui, c'est la réponse.
Because he communicated with someone since And now he started, they got ties and started communicating, and he saw it like a response or even a spiritual calling for him. But the parents say no, you cannot go to the blessing with this person. So he said that he has always been talking to his parents about the blessing, but the parents were saying like no, not now, not now. So he engaged himself in this relationship, and now it's difficult for him to cut ties. So as soon as the child had understand on okay, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, he has to enter in his subconscious that my partner, my parents are the ones who will choose him.
Quand maintenant les parents vont commencer dans le processus, il n'y a pas de raison pour qu'ils rejettent, parce que c'est un engagement. Tu connais que les parents l'ont choisi, mais quand tu rejettes ton partenaire comme justification, si j'étais accepté,
So
il y a beaucoup de cas comme ça. Si j'étais accepté, c'est parce que c'est mes parents qui m'ont
we have to make efforts not to fall in this type of situation. We have so many of them. Why? Because since the beginning, they do not conclude that the choice will be done by my parents, and I have to cooperate with my parents in taking the decision for the blessing. And it's true that parents don't have to impose, but the subject position is to the parents. They are the one that have to guide the children. So this is what I can add. So what the vice president said already. Thank you. Thank you very much, regional president, for this. I hope that Mrs. Angoleo is satisfied with the answers given. We are going to quickly move on. We are going to take just two more questions, and on my screen, I can see Mr. Mupita. Mr. Mupita, you can open your mic and ask your question. Mr. Mupita, you can open your mic and ask your question.
Ouvrez votre micro, s'il vous plaît, et vous pouvez poser vos questions. Est-ce que vous me recevez?
Can you receive me?
OK. Donc, je vais...
You
Nous
say you're
allons
not there.
poursuivre. Là. OK.
Eh,
Votre micro est
I
ouvert.
read it.
Vous pouvez poser votre question.
Your mic is open. You can ask your question. Please open your mic and ask your question.
OK, je vais demander à la technique d'inviter la prochaine personne.
So I'm going to ask the technical team to invite the next person. The next one was Mrs. Mark White. You can ask your question.
Good morning, our dear leaders. I hope you hear me.
Yes.
Oui,
Yes.
tout le monde vous entend.
Thank you very much for the sharing this morning. Very grateful. I introduced myself last time as being someone who is being trained to become a certified matching supporter. So my question may be obvious for some of them who are already matching supporters, but I just wanted a little clarification. Maybe my daughter Mika will answer, and if the regional BFD is there, he can also answer if it's necessary. It's about the fact that in the presentation, she spoke about the fact that the matching supporter has to make sure that the commitment ceremony is recorded, and this is by the signing of the matching report form. I was just wondering, in our setup here, we have not been having many children who have been matched through parent matching. And what happened, I did not witness any commitment ceremony, and the children went to the blessing. Now, I was wondering if, for instance, parents have succeeded in matching and the parents have signed the matching reports, and forwarded it to the African headquarters. I'm wondering if the children needed to do the commitment ceremony, would they have to sign again the report as parents already signed it and reported the successful matching of their children to the African headquarters BFD? So if there should be a commitment ceremony before the blessing, because this wasn't done actually. So if it should be done now before the children take part in the blessing, is there any document again, like the report that they have to sign again? And if so, and parents are separate, far away, how should it be done? This is what I wanted to really have a clarification on. Thank you.
OK, merci pour la question. Cher vice-présidente, vous pouvez répondre.
Okay, yes, thank you. I think this question is more directed to our BFD director, Reverend Burgray, but I'm not sure if he is here. But what I can share is that what I know, but I do believe more clarification needs to come from Reverend Burgray in regards to this. But the matching commitment before the blessing, actually the commitment needs to be signed by the parents and by the children. That's a form, and that is what needs to be recorded. Yeah, so that's definitely needed. And if that has been done, that's good. Now the commitment ceremony is, in my time, actually the commitment ceremony in terms of how we are doing it wasn't necessarily emphasized, but it's a way to, now I believe it's a necessary step also to really present ourselves as the couple and, you know, to commit. It's an engagement ceremony before the blessing. So that's where we do recommend that it be done. And it is able to be done now even by Zoom. Many cases now, parents are joining because they're not maybe in the same location. They do it on Zoom, but ideally we have a representative, maybe as I mentioned, it could be the BFD director or the matching supporter or a parent representative to also be there to witness the signing and the commitment ceremony itself. So that's what is happening. But I feel, to answer your question, I would like that we wait for also Reverend Burgray to give that guidance fully. So I will also make sure we write that down. Our team can write that down, and next meeting we can express that fully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Très bien, j'espère que Madame White est satisfaite de la réponse. Donc, nous allons continuer. Et pour la dernière question.
Thank you. I hope Mrs. White is satisfied with the answer. We're going to move on. And for the last question, we'll give the floor to Mr. Kasereka. Mr. Kasereka, if you receive me, please open your mic to ask your question.
Okay, merci. Bonjour à notre hiérarchie.
Thank you. Good morning to our hierarchy.
Ma petite question consiste dans le processus.
Just a small question is about the process. For example, if there is a family that already matched their children, and now in the options of the vice president concerning the communication, when you always, if you always have visitations, and the children of these people that are already in the matching process have a problem linked on the second chapter 2. So how does this matching, how will this matching evolve? Should we stop the matching or how? Because we have this type of preoccupation. Because we already started the process and now we have a chapter 2 problem. So, so if we have these two people, one that has already fallen and the other that hasn't fallen, but are in the matching process, so how should you do in this kind of situation? So this is my question. Thank you, Mr. Kaseka, for the question. There's a specific question, and that has to be answered normally in a special session, but I'm going to give the floor to Vice President or Regional President to give this a little clarity. So, Vice President, you have something to add?
Yes, actually, as mentioned by the MC, for all challenges in regards to the lineage, we want to have first reported directly to the regional president office, and then when with that we want to go case by case and fully deal with each situation, centering on the direction of our heavenly parent, true parents. So I think this platform is not the best to explain that, but that's where I would like to end. But I think also our regional president can share if need be.
OK. Est-ce que notre président régional voudrait ajouter quelque chose?
Regional President would like to add something? Yes, okay.
Ouais. Dans le cas en espèce, alors qu'on est dans le processus de matching, il y a un problème d'impureté.
So when we're in the matching process and there's a problem
ou
of
de l'autre, ce processus-là est déjà entaché. On ne peut pas le continuer.
lack of purity, this process is already stained. We cannot continue. You have to stop everything and give the report to the hierarchy,
il n'y a
because
pas de bénédiction
there is no blessing
lorsqu'il y a un problème dessus. Il n'y a pas de
when there's a
bénédiction.
problem of fault. There's no blessing. There's no blessing.
Il faut envoyer le rapport.
So you have to send the report.
On doit contacter les parents concernés et
And we're going to contact the parents
pour leur dire
concerned
ce qu'ils doivent faire.
to
Mais
tell them
il
what
n'y a
they
pas de
have to do.
Il n'y a pas de bénédiction. S'ils veulent continuer, il y a toute une procédure à suivre. Et ça, c'est un cas spécial qu'on doit traiter avec les deux familles concernées et les jeunes couples concernés. Mais d'une manière générale, il n'y aura pas de bénédiction.
But in a general sense, there will not be a blessing for this
bénédiction, vous avez le processus est déjà commencé et vous faites ce constat-là. Pour cette bénédiction-là, ce couple n'est pas éligible. Moyennant certaines conditions, sauf si, mais c'est un cas qu'on doit traiter d'une manière spécifique.
But this is a case that has to be treated in a specific way, but they cannot be the blessing if there's already something linked with the fall.
OK, très bien. Merci à notre vice-présidente régionale et à notre président régional pour les réponses apportées, pas seulement à monsieur.
Thank you to our regional president and regional vice president for the answers, and also to all those who asked questions. We are going to close this session of question and answers once more. Thank you very much. And to you, BFT and Machin supporters, not only for your involvement, but for all your engagement. I'm sorry that the question and answers was brief, but time is passing and I'm sure you have so many things to do. So you have other questions, you can ask them directly to your direct leaders. So the question can reach the Africa HQ. And we are going to answer the questions. So we're going to continue with our program.
Nous allons accueillir très chaleureusement afin qu'ils puissent nous donner les mots de clôture. Donc, je vous invite tous à l'acclamer, s'il vous plaît.
So, we're going to invite now regional president to offer the closing remarks. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Merci.
Thank you.
Chers responsables, pour avoir pris part à cette importante réunion.
Thank you to all the leaders for being here at this important meeting. where we were taught of our role, our mission, our responsibility, and we were given more clarity on the process we are starting. That is the traditional assisted maternal education for the blessing of our children. So it is as a family that we want to really find a solution to all these issues. So it's as a family that we have the responsibilities to give a pure offering to the only begotten Son of God.
Cette guidance matinale, partant de Hundoke jusqu'à la présentation, je pense qu'on a
So
compris.
from the Hundoke to the presentation I received, I think we understood clearly our role, our mission, and our responsibility. All what is left now is to play this role to accomplish this responsibility as we have to. So as it was said, matching supporter is a voluntary work, but most importantly, we are we are playing the role of mediators, and mediators are really important in life when there are two subjects, and that is why God gives us this responsibility, because we can do that. We accepted it voluntarily because we are parents and we want to help.
Je pense que nous devons nous comprendre. Et une fois de plus, merci pour votre dur travail, surtout pour votre esprit d'abnégation de
So thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your sacrificial heart, for the best of our children, as well as of Shin Africa. Through your help, Shin Africa will shine to give joy to our heavenly parents and true parents. Once more, good day, and I wish you well and your families, and may the love, the blessing of our heavenly parents and true parents fill our families and all the African region. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Merci, cher président régional, d'avoir partagé encore avec nous les mots de clôture. Et sur ces mots, notre président régional.
Thank you, Regional President, for these closing remarks. Now I'm going to invite the whole community of PFG and machine supporters, all the leaders present here, to prepare themselves internally. We're going to offer a 3-minute unison prayer where we can express our heart of gratitude to Heavenly Parents. So now let's pray together.
Nous sommes vraiment reconnaissants de ton amour. Peut-être que tu as permis que nous puissions participer à ça.
Notre grâce éternelle, notre bien-aimé Père céleste,
Adieu. Adieu.
Adieu. Adieu.
Servir, lui, de conseiller au matching de tous les leaders connectés, parents, frères et sœurs. La situation pourrait être difficile sur le terrain, mais nous devons
Dear parents, dear leaders, the situation might be difficult on the front line, but we shall not lose hope. Our children can count on someone else in us, so let's continue working until the success of this. So we are going now to greet our Heavenly Parents and true parents to conclude. 전진 참고하는 게 겸배.
Offrons toute la gloire à notre parent céleste et nos chers précieux.
Honor glory to Heavenly Parents and true parents.
Merci beaucoup. Donc, nous allons continuer et terminer notre programme à travers, du moins, avec une photo de famille. Donc, s'il vous plaît, ceux qui ont leur caméra fermée, veuillez les ouvrir. Et nous
So
allons faire
please those who have cameras closed, please open your cameras. We're going to do two pictures today. Just two pictures. The first picture asks you to offer the greatest smile you've never offered before. A smile onto your ears. I can already see the great smile of Mama White. And also the couple Myoga Mulisho continue smiling until you touch the ear. If you can even reach your hairs, no problem. That's what we want to see today. Smile. So we'll leave time for the technical team to take the pictures. Okay, smile. I can see it.
Ne vous en faites pas de la couleur des dents, c'est pas important. On a juste besoin de sourire. Voilà, très bien. Nous avons plusieurs pages. Laissons-la au moins 2 secondes à la technique. Non, n'enlevez pas le sourire. Voilà, laissez-le là-bas. Très bien. Merci beaucoup. OK, nous continuons rapidement. Et cette fois, nous allons directement avec le cœur moyen. Si vous êtes en couple, vous pouvez le faire à 2. Voilà. Mais le sourire doit rester là-bas. Ils vont ensemble.
So if you're in a couple, you can do both of you together. Yes, let's do this more hard.
Voilà.
I'm smiling.
Merci beaucoup. C'est très beau.
Good.
Donnons juste le temps à la technique de tirer la photo.
So let's give time to the technical team to take the pictures.
Merci beaucoup. C'est très bien. Merci à tout le monde de votre participation. Merci à notre Champion Co-Chair, à notre président régional, à notre vice-présidente, DFD, conseiller au matching, les parents connectés et à tout le staff qui a permis à ce que ce programme soit possible. Merci à tout le monde. Bonne continuation, bon travail et bonne journée.